Japan, a land where tradition meets modernity. Known for its rich cultural heritage, breathtaking landscapes, and cutting-edge technology, Japan is also home to some of the world's most unique and delicate desserts. From centuries-old confectionery crafted by hand to contemporary sweets with a modern twist, Japanese desserts are a reflection of the country's harmony and precision. Today, we'll explore our top 10 most popular Japanese desserts. Prepare to be amazed by the flavors and creativity that await. Say hello to Japan's original chewy chameleon, mochi. It's squishy, it's stretchy, and it's probably the closest thing to eating a cloud, if clouds were made of rice and dreams. Mochi has been bouncing around Japanese culture for over 1,000 years, dating back to the Heian period. Back then, it was considered a sacred food of the gods. Yes, mochi was basically VIP rice. Traditionally made by pounding glutinous rice into a smooth paste, a team sport requiring serious coordination and zero fear of splinters, mochi was once used in Shinto rituals. These days, it's filled with everything from red bean paste to ice cream to mango jelly. Mochi is served at weddings, New Year's, and snack attacks across the country. And beware, mochi may look soft, but it has a reputation for being a little clingy. In fact, every New Year's, emergency services warn folks to chew carefully. It's the only dessert that comes with a safety announcement. Dorayaki, the dessert that proves pancakes are better when they travel in pairs. This dynamic duo of castella-like sponge cakes hugging a sweet red bean center has been a staple in Japan since the early 1900s, but its roots might go even deeper. Legend says a wounded samurai once hid in a farmer's home and cooked red bean paste on a gong, or dora, inventing the first dorayaki out of necessity and ingenuity. Whether or not that's true, one thing's for sure, these pancakes slap. Today, they're a favorite among kids, anime fans, looking at you, Doraemon, and basically anyone with a functioning sweet tooth. Don't worry, no fish were harmed in the making of this dessert. Taiyaki is the iconic fish-shaped treat that swims straight into your heart and your stomach. It's shaped like a tai, the Japanese word for sea bream, which is considered a symbol of good luck in Japan. This sweet began its journey in Tokyo during the Meiji era, around 1909. Originally, it was just your average round snack, until a clever vendor thought, what if it looked like a fish and tasted like a hug? Boom! Taiyaki was born. Traditionally filled with red bean paste, modern taiyaki has embraced everything from custard to chocolate, cheese, and even sweet potato. That's right, this fish isn't picky. Fun fact, there's an ongoing debate in Japan. Do you bite the head or the tail first? Psychologists haven't weighed in yet, but whichever end you choose, you're in for a warm, sweet, flaky surprise. Basically, the only time catching a fish is a win-win. Coming in smooth, sweet, and oh-so-green is matcha ice cream, Japan's coolest cultural fusion of ancient tea tradition and dessert dreams. Now, don't confuse this with your average green tea ice cream knockoff. Thanks to Japan's food labeling law, only tencha, a specific type of shade-grown green tea, can be ground into official matcha. So if your matcha ice cream isn't made with the real stuff, it's basically wearing a fake Gucci belt. Historically, this frosty treat is that dessert in the streets. Legend says that even Toyotomi Hideyoshi, a warlord from the 1500s, was living his best life eating shaved ice with matcha and millet sugar. And by the Edo period, matcha and sweet red bean paste were already starring in the dessert scene in a dish called uji kintoki. Clearly, Japan's been flexing its dessert game for centuries. Fast forward to the Meiji era, and matcha ice cream, then called hikacha ice treats, was being served at royal banquets. Prince Vittorio Emanuele of Italy even got a taste in 1898, which was probably the most refined thing he ate all trip. And guess who the first American was to try matcha ice cream? Not a Hollywood actor, not a food critic, but Charles Lindbergh, the famous aviator who landed in Japan in 1931 and was greeted with a scoop of this green gold. Who needs peanuts on a flight when you can have matcha ice cream on arrival? By the 1950s, Wakayama Prefecture rolled out Green Soft, the OG matcha soft serve. And by the 1980s, matcha ice cream was a cafe menu staple in Japan. Even Lady Borden, yes, that Borden, jumped on the matcha train. But the real game changer? Haagen-Dazs Japan launched matcha ice cream in 1996 and boom, instant icon. It outsold vanilla 2-1 and climbed to third place in Japan's favorite ice cream flavor rankings. That's right. It's basically the Beyoncé of Japanese ice cream. So next time you see that green swirl in a cone, remember, you're not just eating dessert. You're licking your way through over 500 years of tea-loving history. Anmitsu is like the sundae's sophisticated cousin who studied abroad and came back with a jelly obsession. Born in Tokyo in the early 20th century, this dessert is a refreshing combo of Canton jelly, which is made from seaweed, anko paste, mochi, fruit, and kuromitsu, which is a black sugar syrup that tastes like molasses took a trip to flavor heaven. Think of it as a dessert salad. It's cool, customizable, and strangely addictive. Bonus points if you can say Anmitsu 5 times fast while spooning it into your face. Daifuku translates to great luck, and biting into one might just make you believe in dessert-based fortunes. These chewy rice cakes are stuffed with fillings like sweet red bean paste, strawberries, chestnut cream, and even ice cream, because Japan doesn't mess around when it comes to snacking. Daifuku has been around since the late 18th century Edo period, when someone had the genius idea to take mochi and put even more joy inside it. Originally called harabuto mochi, which charmingly means belly-thick rice cake, it was later renamed Daifuku because, well, marketing matters. Today, Daifuku are sold year-round, but are especially popular during Japanese New Year celebrations, because who doesn't want to start their year off with a squishy orb of happiness? Dango are chewy rice dumplings typically served on skewers. Each bite-sized piece is delightfully chewy, and they come in various flavors like sweet soy sauce, red bean paste, or matcha. Dango is a traditional street food, often enjoyed during festivals, and their colorful appearance makes them an Instagram-worthy treat. You might think sponge cake is European, and you'd be half right. Castella was introduced to Japan by Portuguese missionaries in the 16th century. The Japanese tried it and said, not bad, but let's make it better. And thus, casutero was born. Named after Pound de Castella, bread from Castile, this cake ditched the butter and kept things simple with eggs, sugar, flour, and starch syrup. The result? A moist, sweet, fluffy cake that's popular in Nagasaki and beloved across the country. Today, it's found in elegant gift boxes and often served with tea. It's like the dessert version of a reliable friend, soft, sweet, and always there when you need it. Not all mochi is created equal. Warabi mochi is made not from rice, but from bracken starch, which sounds like it tastes weird, but is surprisingly delicious. This delicacy dates back to the Heian period and was once reserved for the aristocrats. Today, it's a summer favorite, often sold from little street carts and dusted in kinako powder like it just rolled through a flavor explosion. Some versions come with kuromitsu syrup drizzled on top, making it the holy trinity of chewy, nutty, and sweet. Honestly, it's the dessert you never knew you needed until you tried it. If creme caramel and flan had a polite, soft-spoken baby, it would be Turin. Japan's take on custard pudding is smoother than a jazz playlist and just as timeless. With a rich caramel top and a wobbly base that somehow holds it together better than most of us in our 30s, Turin is a staple at every convenience store and grandma's kitchen. It first became popular in the early 1900s, but mass production in the 1960s turned it into Japan's go-to comfort dessert. Alert! It's the kind of dessert that jiggly dances back when you poke it. Who says pudding can't party? So, there you have it. 10 unforgettable Japanese desserts that range from squishy to crispy, sweet to subtle, ancient to trend-setting. Whether you're into mochi madness or team taiyaki, one thing's clear. Japan doesn't just do desserts, it elevates them. Craving more global sweetness? Hit that subscribe button and follow us on our next dessert journey around the world. Until then, stay sweet, stay curious, and always chew your mochi carefully.
Wow, hell froze over. You finally behaved yourself.
Maybe you should focus on these scripts. You do know that daifuku is a type of mochi, right? Jerry?